Good morning, class. You will hopefully have your headphones in by now. Today, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know for your illegal ivory trade research project, which you'll be working on over the course of the next few days. Now, notice that the due date is October 23rd at 8:34 a.m., so it's very important that you work hard on this when you have time and finish it over break. First, let's go ahead and let's take a look at that assignment. Here's what you're going to be doing. Let's start with part 1, directions. For this assignment, you will have to come up with a solution or solutions to stop the illegal ivory trade. In order to do that, you will need to research the illegal ivory trade. Below are 3 links to websites. I want you to pick 2 of the websites to read through and take notes by filling in the graphic organizer below. There are 3 links here, and as it said in the directions, you only need to look at 2 of them. So you will pick 2 from that list and then fill out a graphic organizer just like my example. So I will begin by showing you exactly how to look through these websites and the information that you will need. And we're going to start with the Newsella article that we read during class. The first thing that you're going to need is the website name. So if I go over here, the website name is right up at the top, Newsella. Fairly easy to fill out. You will put that into there. Next thing you'll need is your URL. So if I go back to this, I will highlight my URL, click Control C, come back over here and hit Control V to paste that in there. Next is going to be a website citation. Now this you will need to find the information on the website. You're going to need to use the website citation machine. Go ahead and click on the very first one that comes up, citationmachine.net. It should appear just like this. And we will, of course, use MLA. That is for English. As that loads, it is going to be a website, just like we took it from. So if I go and I take my URL again, Control C, come back over here, I can hit Control V and hit Search Websites. This is going to head and go search through the database for websites to find. And of course, with my luck, it is not found. So I will show you how to do that if it doesn't find the website, which is even better. Now, if it had found the website, it would be right in the middle. You'd be able to click on and get your citation right away. But let's go ahead and let's enter in on our own. If I click on manual entry mode, it is going to give me the article title. So if I go back here, here's my article title. Again, copy and paste will be your friend. Hit Control C, back here, hit Control V. Next, I need authors. Let's go back here. It is by the Los Angeles Times. Notice it does not have any authors other than it's been adapted by the Newsella staff. So if I go author, and then I am just going to type in for first, Newsella staff. Website title, Newsella. Publisher and sponsor. Let's go ahead and let's go over to this website. It has been published by the Los Angeles Times. They were the original people who had this website and this article. Paste that in there. We do have our URL. Tried to copy this earlier. It didn't work, unfortunately. Paste that URL in there. And electronically published. It was published on 10/28/15. And oops, the day was 28. 10 would be October. Year was 2015. Okay. I'm going to click Create Citation. And then from here, I would copy and paste, go back to my trade research, and paste in my citation, and then that would be done. I'd be finished with all of that. Now, next is the main idea. We read this article together in class. This was, again, the article about the elephants and about the United States and China coming together to hopefully stop the illegal ivory trade. So if I had to sum all that up into 1 to maybe 2 sentences, I came up with the article suggests that in order to stop the illegal ivory trade, the United States and China need to create laws which ban the sale of ivory. That to me was the main idea, all shrunken down into one sentence. You will do that same exact thing for one and two of the websites out of these three up here. Next, you need to go ahead and give me one fact or a detail. So one thing that I thought stood out was that China give licenses to sell some ivory sellers to sell older ivory. This is an important detail because this causes a major problem in China for the illegal ivory trade, since the ivory sellers can just make their new ivory look old. So I took that detail out. Now, as you're looking through your website, you're going to obviously have tons and tons of details. You will want to pick one in which you'll use in your paragraph. So make sure you find a detail that you think would be useful. Next, you're going to need to find a quote. Now, quote should come from the article or a person in the article. And these quotes, again, should be something that will be useful in coming up with a solution to stop the ivory trade. So the quote that I found from the article is that some places you buy are legal, some places are illegal, and everybody is so confused. This would go a long ways with showing that it's important that everybody bans all sales of ivory to hopefully stop the trade overall, because then people will be less confused. If I go back in here, I will show you exactly where I got that from. It was in the part that talked about the confusion of illegal ivory. Right here is Gabriel is again talking about some places you buy are legal, some places are illegal, and everybody is so confused, she added. Now, when I say she added, we see this name Gabriel, but we don't know if that's a first name or if that's a last name. So it's important that we look through our article to find who this person is and why they're an expert. I see this Gabriel again, so I'm going to assume I need to continue to go up in my article, and now I see Grace Gabriel, and she's the director for the International Fund of Animal Welfare in Asia. So I think, to me, she would be an expert on this topic, and we would be able to quote her. I'll go back over here, and it's important to put your quotes where you found that in parentheses. So if it just comes from the article in parentheses, I would have from Newzella. But since my quote came directly from Gabriel, you can see the quotations here, I've added her name in quotations. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip down to a statistic. I do want you to find something that has to deal with numbers, because statistics are obviously numbers. And so the one that I found is in 2013, a court in the southeastern province of Fujian sentenced a licensed ivory dealer to 15 years in prison for illegally importing 7.7 tons of ivory into China. And the reason that I picked this one is because I believe it shows just the length that some people will go to make money. And so this will go a long ways in showing why we need to come up with a solution to stop the illegal ivory trade. All of this information came from this article here from Newzella, the one that we read together as a class. Now that you see how to fill out the example, you're going to do this on your own for 2 websites. You do not have to do all 3, but it does give you all of the areas that you need to fill out. The first thing that you'll do is obviously look at all the websites, decide which 2 you want to use, do the URL, do the website citation, and I did the hard way. You do have a way to do it just by copy and paste the URL. Of course, mine did not work, and if yours doesn't work, you need to make sure you click that manual entry mode and type in the information that it will give you. You guys will be using websites, so it's important that you get all of this information in your citation. Let's go ahead, let's go back here. Once you have the website citation, you will write down the main idea. Try and summarize that main idea into 1 to 2 sentences. Then you will find a fact or a detail that will go in a long ways to showing a solution to the illegal ivory trade. You will find a quote from the article or from a person. You can go ahead and skip paraphrase. Since I'm not here, we will skip that. And then I want you to find one statistic that goes along in showing that there is a solution to stop the illegal ivory trade. Then, once you've done all of that work, you will come down into part 2. You will now have to type an RDF paragraph using the research information you've gathered. In your paragraph, you'll have to include a direct quote and a paraphrase. You will also need to make sure that you cite your sources with an in-text citation and a works cited at the end. I'm going to highlight text citations because we're going to come back to that in a second. You need to inform me about how you would stop the illegal ivory trade. You must use the information from the websites to support your solution. Next, you need to paste your paragraph in a paper rater website. Finally, you need to highlight your paragraph. Green should be topic and concluding. Yellow should be the fact, a direct quote, or a paraphrase sentences, and red should be your explanation sentences. As we've talked about with RDS before, guys, I would like you to see more red in your paragraphs than any other color. Very important that we're looking at these explanations and why the facts, statistics, and quote you chose are important. This assignment in its entirety is due by Monday at 8:34 a.m. Now let's go back to that in-text citation. If I go back up to my example here, when I took out, and you see this quote, I have in parentheses Gabriel. And that was the name from Grace Gabriel, the author, who wrote that quote or said that quote, and it was written down by the writers of that paper. If you use anything, a fact, a quote, or a statistic, you need to have an in-text citation. For example, I left this one blank. So this one, since it didn't come from Grace Gabriel, would be Newsella. Okay, that would be the same as this up here. This fact didn't come from Grace Gabriel. This came from Newsella. And then when you're writing your paragraph, you will have to include this at the end of your sentence because this tells me where it came from. Very important that you have your in-text citations when you're typing your paragraph. You'll notice that in this paragraph, I'm asking you for one topic, one concluding, a direct quote, or a paraphrase. Now, we took out paraphrase, so instead, I would like you to have a statistic, or down here, a fact that you found from your article. So again, you can ignore the paraphrase and insert a statistic or a fact. Then you'll come over here, you'll explain the importance of whatever quote, statistic, or fact that you picked, and this should be where we see the bulk of your information. Finally, you will paste your paper down here. Very important that we take that extra step and paste this into Paper Writer so we can get an accurate feel for where our paper is, finding those errors, and anything else. This is your assignment. There is a lot to do and a lot to look at, so make sure you use your time wisely. Please rewatch this video if you need any extra help. I will be out of town on Wednesday, Thursday, and I will be coming back on Friday. So if you need anything, you can email me. I can't guarantee that I will get it to you in time, but you do have teachers on the URSA team that can help you. Please make sure to ask them for any help that you may need. All right, with that, good luck.